What is going on, everybody? It's MaceValor, your oh so beloved and glorious. Once again, welcome back. Hello. Okay, now no one that was gonna actually want to watch the video, they're gone now. It's just us. We're talking about Taskrabbit today. The good, the bad, and the different. It's all over the place on this one. And yes, if you're listening with headphones, or hell, if you're even listening with speakers, I know you can only hear me in one of your ears. I'm sorry. It's my phone. It sucks, but it just is what it is, and I apologize for that. Moving on. Just got done with the Taskrabbit job, and I am actually headed home. Yay. Don't really have anything else on the agenda today, but my schedule is open, so if something comes up, cool. If not, oh well. But let's talk about Taskrabbit, because this job that I was just at paid pretty decently. Nice, all right, not too bad for my time. Took about an hour and a half. The thing, though, here's the thing. This particular, it was an IKEA job, and this particular item, it definitely needed two people. Now I know there's a lot of IKEA products that, even if it's relatively small and you could do it just by yourself, in the instructions, it's always showing you two people. This was one of those things where kind of needed two people, and it was just the one, just me. Now it wasn't an issue. I was still able to knock it out in a very timely fashion. It was basically a futon. It's called a sofa bed, but it's a futon. Let's just call it what it is, okay? You know, you put it together, you pull it out, there you go. Bam, boom, bam, beezon, right? The problem that I had was it's a sofa, so it's nice and it's long and it's awkward. It's not heavy because it's IKEA. Everything's made out of particle board. But it's awkward because of its length, you know? The weight isn't distributed in a centralized location, it's across a long surface area. So that was interesting, to say the least. But I was able to get done, no problem. Now, here's the thing, ladies and gentlemen. Here is the caveat to all of this. The people. The people. Sometimes I go to a job, someone will like say, hey, I need this put together, I need it right here. Oh, okay, cool. Where would you like it staged once it's completed? Oh, right over there is fine, or just leave it, whatever, right? Cool, no problem, it goes normal. They leave. That's the best part. They're not up in my soup, you know what I'm saying? The problem I had at this place, for some reason, so I'm in the living room, and it's in an apartment complex, so in this apartment, the guy wanted to go out to his back patio quite a bit. And he had to walk through the living room, and there's two boxes, and there's a lot of intricate stuff, and I'm trying to sort it all so it's relatively organized. And for half of the time I was working on the thing, the guy kept walking, literally walking, going over me, because there wasn't a whole lot of space once I had everything out of the box. And I'm like, come on, dude, really? Are you you really got to step over me while I'm down here trying to put your sofa together, your sofa bed? So it was frustrating, and yeah, I guess you could say something to the customer if you wanted, but me, I'm like, I just dirt off the shoulder, you know, no problem, it's whatever. You know, it's this guy's home, he's gonna act however he wants, you know, as long as he ain't touching me, as long as he ain't being disrespectful and derogatory towards me while I work, so be it, whatever, I'm fine. Step over me all over you want, just don't step on me. So that's something that I really find interesting is there's a lot of different kind of customers, but they usually fall into one of two camps. You go there and they let you do your work. They're not up all in your business. They're not even physically nearby. They'll be in another room. Or there's that customer that just has to be there. They have to watch. They have to micromanage in a way. You know, if I pull out my own Allen key, they weren't using the one in the box, or the ones that I love the most are when you're putting it together but you're looking at the instructions and they ask you, why do you need the instructions? I thought that you guys know how to do this. It's like, even the people that work in the warehouses and stuff at IKEA assembling the showroom furniture, they have to look at the instructions. All right, you're hiring me because you couldn't even take the time to open the box and look at the instructions because it was too difficult for you. So me actually taking a look at the instructions, it's perfectly fine. Here's the thing I have with IKEA though. Personally, I wouldn't own any IKEA stuff. I mean, a lot of it looks nice, but like that sofa bed, for example, wasn't very comfortable. You know, I sat on it once it was all done, making sure it wasn't creaky or make sure everything was screwed in nice and tight. It wasn't very comfortable, and I don't know how much they paid for it, but I can guarantee you they paid way too much. The quality of the wood, it's not the best. It really isn't. But you're not paying top dollar for this stuff at the end of the day. You're paying a lower market price. It's still relatively high, and you know, I would rather spend the extra $200-300 for a piece of furniture that's going to last, and it's actually more comfortable than whatever that was. But it's just something that I've noticed, is that the machining process. So IKEA, it's relatively simple to put together. It is. It can be a headache. I don't want to say it's a challenge, because I wouldn't say it's a challenge. It can be a headache, though. It can be aggravating. The instructions, everything's there, pictures and all that, but nothing of the actual physical items that you're touching, they're not labeled. Now, the Wayfair products, I have my own issue with those things, but at the end of the day, at least there's a stamp or a sticker on it, so you can at least see what the heck is going on, if you have a Fahrenheit. So the other problem that I have with the machining aspect of it, with things not being labeled, the machining aspect is that things don't always line up right, and that's a problem that I had with this sofa bed. And it was in the hole from one piece to the like part that I had to screw in on the other. It just didn't line up right. It was just off just enough to make it aggravating. So being a part of Taskrabbit, that's something that you're going to find. I do have a job coming up on Sunday. It's going to be a very long one, but it's not going to pay as much as like the IKEA ones. I like the IKEA ones because it's a flat rate. I go in, I do the work, I know what I'm getting out, and I can finish that job super quick. This job, it was, you know, they did their mathematical, like how long it should take, about 2 hours or whatever. And I was able to knock out an hour and a half. I got like $65, 60 something dollars, right? And to me, that's fantastic. That's a lot of money for my time. This job I got on Sunday, still a lot of money for my time, but in comparison to IKEA, it's not as much. So for example, on Sunday I have a job where it's gonna be me and another person, and we gotta put together an entire office worth of furniture. And it's already on site, so we don't have to move it or anything, which is cool. But wow, we gotta assemble so many chairs, so many desks, like so much stuff. It's out of this world. Like a lot. Like I don't mean just like, oh, like 4 or 5. Like we're talking like 30, 40 items. So it's gonna take over 3 hours. It's gonna take a long stretch of time. So that's where it's hit and miss, because I'm getting paid $19 an hour for that. Which, do I think is that fair? Yeah, for the most part, yeah, I think that's fair. But man, I'd like those IKEA jobs because it's a flat rate. I got another job tomorrow, Saturday, where I go in, take care of business, and I get $70. That one's probably going to be more intensive than this one. That's one's probably going to take close to 2 hours. That's for a bed with like storage underneath it or whatever. It's going to be a pain. I already know it's going to be a pain. But hey, it just is what it is. So as far as Taskrabbit is concerned, I have had several jobs with Taskrabbit, and you know, I like it. I enjoy it. It's usually pretty quick. Most of it is furniture assembly, and I actually kind of went through and looked at like there's different categories on Taskrabbit, and one of the categories, you know, furniture, that was for assembling furniture. But when I really broke it down and I was looking at it, the job that I had where I was working at the Las Vegas Convention Center, it was categorized wrong, just based upon the work that I was actually doing. Now, was I assembling furniture? To a degree, I was, but it was mostly, it was more in line with heavy lifting, the category of what heavy lifting was, which paid an additional $6 an hour. It was a $25 an hour payout. So, said and done, because I accepted that job under furniture assembly, I got paid the $19 an hour. I ended up making, what, like, probably like $160 or something odd, like something more than that, actually. I made a pretty decent amount of money. It was like, after everything was said and done for that job, because it stretched over to 2 days, I made about $180 from that one job with that client. but actually I should have been making probably like close to 230 when everything was said and done, because of it was in a different category. So I mean, I could go, one of the things you can do in Taskrabbit, you can talk with the customer. It's like, well, based upon what you're actually asking me to do, that's the wrong category. And usually what the customer will do is they just will like say, oh, I'm not going to hire you then, and then they'll go hire someone else. So looking back, I'm fine with it. I really am. Now, it does suck that it was categorized wrong, but he just would have hired someone else under the same thing, and that person would have just been like, okay, cool, whatever. So for me, I think it's fine. Would I have liked to have gotten paid more? Yeah. Did I feel like I got paid for my work that I actually did do? Yeah, I feel like it was great, it was fine, it was dandy, and I feel like I've earned that. So that was no problem whatsoever. So you just take it as it comes, and you kind of adjust to the flow. So the only other thing that I really got to say about Taskrabbit is it's enjoyable. It really is. You do have to pay a fee to get signed up, but so long as your background check goes out good, you're pretty much good to go. No problem. There's not really like any instant stuff. I do want to get hooked up with the delivery stuff that's out here. So that's more instant. But hey, you know, I'm not gonna really be able to be doing that. Mainly because something with the app and the website, you got to like kind of sign up for doing the delivery jobs in the area. And for whatever reason, for the life of me, on the website, I can't find where to include that as one of my skills. So it just is what it is. The thing about Taskrabbit, though, is a lot of it is they're going to hire you. So the customer goes on, they look at different people, and they choose who they want. You know, me personally, it would be cool. I like with Handy where it's kind of instant, where it kind of throws it out there and like you can claim it if you want. But what I have noticed is I get more people on Taskrabbit that go directly to me than on Handy. Because with Handy, they have the option to specially request my services, which is nice. But most of it is just the instant stuff. It's like, hey, we got this at this place. There you go. It's instant booked. Or hey, you know, the whole claiming thing, it's not very quick. It's not very quick. You have to be quick. You have to be quick. You have to kind of get up in there and click the claim for when it comes out. Handy's been kind of toning down these last few days. Anyway, I try to keep it on Taskrabbit. So Taskrabbit's good. I usually probably get about 3 jobs a week on average with Taskrabbit so far. I noticed though that the more you do the work, the more offers that come in. So because they can see like your profile and see if you're brand new and how many jobs you've done and your rating and all this stuff. So over time, as those numbers build up, more people are going to come to you. So it's a slow and steady wins the race. It's just like with Handy. With Handy, when I first started, it was relatively, the first week was really slow. The second week was bam packed. Man, the second week of Handy, I made a crap load of money. You know, for my time that I was actually working. And I was like, wow, this is amazing. And then this past week, it's been slowed down to like a crawl as far as Handy goes. And it's kind of like the same with Taskrabbit. Last week, there's not very much work. This week there is. The only other thing is I keep talking about Pulse, and I really want to talk about Pulse, but I'm gonna kind of save that for its own video, kind of go into the intricacies of that and let you guys know, because there is a giant issue that I have with Pulse right now that needs to be addressed, but it hasn't. And I can't even start working until it's addressed. Let's just say that. As always, thank you so much if you stuck around this long. This is your so beloved and glorious MaceValor. Just made 1,000 subscribers finally, yay! So if you haven't, please hit the sub button. I talk about the gig economy stuff all the time. My content is evolving. It is going to be changing up. And also I do live stream quite often. I usually try to do it between 7 and 8 o'clock at night to start. So you want to come shoot the breeze with me, you can. Where was I? Yeah, this is the end credit stuff, so if you want to leave, you can leave. As always, you're also beloved and glorious MaceValor. Thank you guys for stopping by. Thank you for 1,000 subs. Thank you so much. It means the world to me. I won't be here without you guys. So this is an honor that's only bestowed upon me because of the community that I'm a part of. And yeah, that's basically it. So thank you guys for dropping by. Drop some comments down below, questions, comments, concerns, ideas for a video, topics for me to discuss when it pertains to this. Like I did say, my content is evolutionary. I'm kind of in a situation where all I can really do is record with the phone and then send it off into the ether. Once revenue flow kind of picks up into the positive, I'll be able to make some adjustments for equipment on my end and make better content for you guys, of course. But that's all in the pipeline. As always, you're also beloved and glorious MaceValor. As always, it's own your success and words. It's MaceValor signing off.